Hi guys, welcome. We are here. Happy holidays, Taurus. Someone commented, they were like, thanks for ditching Taurus. Thanks for hating on Taurus. You could take it that way. Or you could take it the way that I take it. I take it as Spirit wanted a little more time with you, to have just a little bit more one-on-one with you here. And so something in particular very special here for you. Okay, so and I was getting this really strong sort of like a magical energy coming in. The title of this video is No Coincidence. I was meditating, working with your energy off camera, and I was just here, Disney. I was getting that just repetitively, that song. It's a whole new world. Yeah, so now Taurus, I will say that as I was working with your energy, there is something really uncomfortable. It's a test, it's a hurdle. It's a height, it's a plateau. Some people, they don't think the top of the mountains view is worth it. They settle for mid-range success in their life. You went all the way. And I feel like you being there, you have these two sides of the scale, and you say, on one hand, I'm tired as fuck. On the other hand, I feel liberated. I feel happy. I'm hearing that as well. Okay. I feel that I have achieved, and I can take it as what it is. I see you in a space of balance, surrender. I see you as being okay um, with why you have made what you have happen, so called, um, when you did. Okay, so called. And there's this moment of just sort of understanding where the third dimensional paradigm meets the higher spectrums here of order, and you're in balance, Taurus. Interestingly, I feel like this is a challenging point, but it's riding on the axis of seeing through the challenge to the other side. And I feel like you've really come very far, Taurus. So a lot of this is perspective. This won't be everyone's message, of course. We have always our perspective, right, to look to when it comes to what we're experiencing and how life looks. Two people can look at the same painting. One will just consider it a wall. But maybe, to another person, that same wall can have a very artistic sort of growth on it, and we call it a portrait. I hear it like that. So yeah, there's always a way, and I feel that this is the time where you define for yourself which way you will look at what you've manifested. And I'm hearing it's been a matter of the management of your perspective. Many of you Taurus, you've been through a lot. I feel like this is one of those times where you can again say, it's not that it hasn't been a lot. It's been a lot, but it's also been a time for me to honor. So I see you again, just like in that sort of Libra energy, justice. You are co-ruled right by Venus. Venus, yeah, return it. Let's clear the energy in the throat chakra down the right side of the body, up in the crown. Some of you, this is a separation. You possibly have decided to go your own way. I'm hearing the song, go your own way. Yeah, like you are finally, I'm hearing also free. It is really the axis. Like, well, we broke up. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of emotion here coming in. Like you possibly broke up, and like in some ways you feel like that was the right thing for you. But then obviously with that, we have the sense of sentimentality. We have the unwinding. We have the unwinding, but it is still a road, and it reminds us that we took the road to get there. And so we similarly can follow it, pace it back. Thank you guys so much for your patience, Taurus. I'm going to get now into a card for each of the days, and the specificities hopefully will follow. It may be a bit of an abstract message riding in, but yeah, I'm really happy, Taurus, for an earth sign to come to a point more so of abstractness, because it's in that sense of void of understanding that we really can elevate. So Spirit seems to have you in mind when it comes to what portal we're moving through next, and the echelons that give us the meaning that we'll make of them. You, I would say, alongside Pisces, okay, there's a huge level up. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard growth. Okay, and so yeah, they want to tell you thank you. Your spirit guides want to say you've been playing a huge role. Your impact is felt, and your rewards will be seen. Okay, and some of you it's fame, something is coming your way. I feel like you're going to feel really appreciated. It's that moment, not quite yet. I feel like that's coming. I'm hearing next spring is going to be the magic truly for you, stirred and served. You can feel it probably coming though. So let's get further here. It's really exciting. Strength, 5 of Cups. This is return to Thunder, clear throat. Obviously it's still a general video, so some of you here, maybe you're still in that phase of you're going through possibly dark night energy. You're still sort of phasing this conversation out of what has been, and the future doesn't feel quite comfortable yet to you. Okay, as a story told, but the character is already in full view. So yeah, I feel like some of you here, you're having trouble possibly grappling with this sense of continuation of the story. It's almost like you're still holding on to what you've already let go of. If that makes sense. You're going to come to know your power, Taurus, in a way that you possibly never have before. With the Six of Swords and the Father of Swords, I see you as well with a guide. You are supremely guided at this time, Taurus. I just keep hearing it again and again. Your guides want to thank you, and I'm hearing they want to forgive you. Interesting. Okay, as well, of what it is that you have considered to this point, your consciousness. Okay, so I do see this is about karma, and it is about you transcending. It so badly is, though, as well, a need for you to realize that you are safe and sound. Okay, many of you have released, and it could have been really uncomfortable. I just keep hearing it like that again. You felt like you were hovering. I hear it like that. Like, where am I right now? Like, I feel really random right now. But there is a story to that. And every scene in the movie, even if we want to just get out of the theater and we feel like the director wasn't paying attention when he was writing out that script, we realize, right? When we're just about to get up, okay, everyone else is sitting down. There's more to the movie. Okay, let's close our eyes and see what else life has in store. So yeah, many of you here, it's related to your sense of confidence, in a way, your spirituality though as well. So how are you able to feel and sense your faith? Are you really able to settle into those more uncomfortable aspects and voids in your mind's eye consciousness? Where are you able to sit with your subconscious and say, I know that I don't know yet, and I know that I don't have to as well? So that's the double edge. I'm hearing the devil's advocate, but pointed in the direction back to okay, our knowing that we reside with in a space of our sense of self, right? Where we say, I'm enough. The fact that I'm incarnate is enough for me to know that I don't have to know why. This is hard though. I feel these really strong pangs of emotion coming through, where you almost like possibly even want to throw the towel in. Like, no, I'm good. Like, you know what? But you're going to keep going, Taurus. Like, you're going to do this. I hear it like that. You're going to. Wow. This is really, really emotional. It's because um, it's where you meet yourself again. Wow. The Hermit. Some of you here, wow. You need a minute. Taurus, you need a minute. You need a minute to realize, time never really needed to exist, for you to feel worthy of having an experience that dismisses it anyways. You are here having a really special out of body, I'm hearing that as well, transit right now. There's nothing quite like December, I feel. Taurus, you are going to make turns. It's your turn. I'm hearing that. Is it heavy? Yeah, it's heavy. The backpack always feels it, right? Even if we have nothing in it, the backpack itself feels heavy. This is really emotional, Taurus. It's powerful. Enough time, no pressure can feel like pressure. Some of you are at a finality sort of moment. Yeah, temperance in reverse. It's interesting. No one else could do what you've done to this point. Your guys want you to know that. Those really challenging moments, Taurus, are the moments in which you get to know yourself, your true self. And there's no one like you. So there's not one snowflake like the next, right? So you hear justice right there. I'm like so moved by this energy. Oh my gosh. I'm hearing, you know. Death in reverse. I feel like Taurus, you make a decision here to change. For some of you, wow, napkin needed. Give me a second. Waterworks, nostril works. It's all working in perfect order. It's working out. I hear that, for the highest divine good. Sometimes, and I feel like this is what you'll realize here in December, is, you can still perceive even if you don't have full access yet. Meaning that the human consciousness range is limited, and your faith is in how you know, again, that you're human, and that's not actually who you are. I know it's a bit abstract, Taurus, but work with this message here. I feel like you have something that you're living for. Can you grasp it? No. Do you need to? The things in life that move our spirit are intangible. So, being that this is a Taurus read, and thus speaking of the earth element and Venus specifically, it's an interesting and very powerful point of transcendence. I feel like you will turn away from your challenges, to understand why the light helps create that resistance for you. Some of you here, I just keep hearing, So there are things that you give meaning to in life, and that is a matter of your capacity to communicate with your higher self, no matter what, right? And this is really, really interesting because Taurus again, earth sign energy, right? Sometimes you can really in the shadow get kind of lost in this dimension of how we identify with our human being, our senses, our physical 3D archetype, right? Venus is about literally the physical senses: touch, sound, taste, sight. Um, you're realizing when to check out so that you can become more present. Okay, so this is important here. I feel like some of you, yeah, you've understood something. Okay, so wow, I'm hearing that was hard, but something can feel hard because it is known in relation to something that would otherwise have felt easy. We would have to identify easy to identify truly hard. I feel like you're making peace with the spectrum, okay, of the things that you, yeah, learn to flow with. And I see you sort of leaning into experiences, whether it's, however the weather, right? Whether or not. This is about elevation. And I see you going from possibly even trying to schedule in, so to speak, even your happiness and moving through, okay, how, and flowing with more why. Why, looking at things more existentially. Why does happiness exist? Why do things become difficult? Why do they then become easier? Why do I feel that this is something in life that has a capacity to make me feel less of a certain way? This is really about gratitude as well. Why is it that things can leave you in a state, I'm hearing a headspace as well, of acceptance or so-called distress? Why do we need to interpret and reinterpret as well, right? There's a wheel here, and you're starting to realize that. It's very, very interesting towards the star on the Ace of Pentacles. Why is it that we're here? Why is it that we don't, and yet we do understand? And can we feel more connected to our reality? Wow, what was that? Was that that could have, wow, that was a huge bug. Really could have only quite been a scarab beetle. Okay, I think it was a scarab beetle. So that's extremely significant. Scarabs, they speak to Egyptian past life themes, immortality related contexts. This is about where you think you're at because you feel you can define it versus how you arrive to a space of seeing rather than needing to experience the parameters to how you magnify your visions into the third dimensional paradigm on this planet. Many of you are going to be having incredible, immense archetype upgrades. Okay, so that's good news. Not only for Taurans, everyone who has Taurus in their chart, this is going to make 3D lighter. Father Pentacles in reverse. You may start to feel that you're like more connected in some way to your 12th house. I see, I'm getting a really strong activation of the crown chakra. I'm seeing purple and blue. And light aquamarine turquoise. You're going to sort of just be flowing more, understanding more, not processing though. It's a faster software, will you, on the same hardware, Interestingly, software though, makes us see the hardware a bit differently. If the software is so good that, let's say, preserves battery, longevity, you can do more on your phone in less time. This is just an example, mirroring to, let's say, literally like technology. If our software is more operative and more practical for us to function through, we'll have our phone turned on longer, and the hardware then has more meaning for greater amounts of time. It's kind of interesting, right? Because if the phone dies sooner, then what's the hardware but just a piece of hardware? So that synergistic energy is really relying on how quickly you are adapting to this ever-changing paradigm on Earth, right? So there are things that you're going to see through. You're going to see, I'm hearing piercing through the veil. And it's kind of like, I just kind of know those questions. I don't need to ask them. There's also a speediness. Yes, thank you, Spirit. That is exactly what was coming through as well. When I was meditating, working with your energy, dear Taurus, I was getting that something is moving very quickly. Yeah. Chariot, 3 swords in the star. Yeah. This is about reinterpreting and reimagining. So if you are having a very challenging moment, nothing is ever just one piece of the puzzle in isolation. There's always going to be another sort of feeling as well. The fluid transition between light and dark, I hear like that, is in full swing for you, especially here, in terms of how you're observing both of those spaces in time. Many of you will have epiphanies like crazy, like, oh my God, I didn't even need to worry about that. Or like that, you're like very worried maybe about something, and then it just sort of resolves, and it's like, wow. There are things that your mind slows you down with when you're trying to have your mind at peace alongside your memory, right? It's actually an illusion that we're really manifesting in this reality, and we say that time and time again on this channel. We're not really creating anything. We're more in a passive observation space, and we're just sort of dialing into the frequency of our highest possible code to know what it is that we have come before to recognize. This is really about you, again, residing in a space of faith, announcing to your higher self, I have arrived. My mind, my 3D vessel is present to know better what I have already created. So yeah, this is really a matter of I'm hearing your public image, your physical relationship to what you create in this world, your brand, will you? This is really about why you have meaning in this world. Maybe you did have a moment of even so-called depression, Hope it's not the case, Taurus. But hey, these energies, these darker moments need to be pathway points for us to be able to really make change. If you don't have the incline, the proper incline, you just don't have a mountain. You don't have the view. You don't change. Right? I mean, you could go from valley to valley, but in terms of elevating, you're with your consciousness, right? You have to have those proverbial mental mountains where you have these challenge points. Yeah. See, I'm getting this really heavy emotion, and it is about processing the emotion as well. I'm hearing something about the Navy. Allowing that emotion to be a cursor for you, to point towards where it is that you're not just feeling, but where you take those feelings to be indications of your potential for application in another, possibly for some of you, lifetime. This is possibly about transmutation. Okay, quite possibly literally immortality. With the Hermit and the Fool, there's something that you possibly have felt that you had your foot in your mouth with a little bit. It's like, I know that I know the answer to this, but I'm just not surrendering to how I will derive it, which is possibly saying I don't have the answer, because who's I? And that's where you're really going to check in, decide to check in if you do, right? This is always free will space in your prescribed perspective that you give to you. But it is about saying, I'm actually here. I am here to the point where I am not defining where I need to be at in order to think clearly about what I think I know. So the ego, in other words, is no longer Again, Taurus, wow. Those of you on a high vibrational train ride here, you'll be seeing that blockages will just be kind of absolving, and you won't have to sort of work through the challenges that you had to this point in the so-called past. So, Taurus, it's very emotional though. I feel like my third eye is just buzzing. Like you're gonna have, it's almost like labor. It's like, Lord, this is fucking weird, but it is like birth. I mean, if we just trace it back, can you imagine for an infant, so-called infant, what that must feel like? But what does it lead to? A whole new world ahead of them. You're very lucky. I'm hearing that as well, Taurus, those of you who make it through this portal in this way, where we see that Fool shining so bright with the Ace of Wands preceding it. You have been generous with spirit in terms of how far you would be willing to work through your shadow, and they are going to be generous with you too. And you'll feel it. That's the point of this here, that second week, the 10 of Pentacles, of this heavy weight, if you bring it to the finish line, they will grab your hand at the end, right? It was the race. It was the race. I hear it like that. You feel like, where are my guides? Possibly. Some of you, really. I mean, you were like grappling with a sense of, you felt lost, Taurus, is what I mean. It's like, where am I? Like, you felt like you just felt like you were, there was this thronging sort of energy. Like, where am I? But it's only until, I mean, no one can step in and help you win the race, right? I mean, and I'm hearing, I'm tired. Like, you hold your hand though to take the race for what it is and say, I arrived and I made it and I feel fulfilled, and I am in a space of gratitude for having had that line that was drawn so I could know better what the race means to me. And once you do, Taurus, I'm hearing you feel the weight of, I'm hearing forgiveness. And I hear that again. I hear that again for you. So there's something, yeah. And I see someone just like holding your hand right at the end, because that's where your guides want to see you as well, Taurus. That's why sometimes we have to go through those moments where we're like, who are my guides? Did they forget about me? I hear that. But they can't walk you in the rain home, right? If it's truly home, you'll know your way. And the rain wouldn't cause you to forget. Why sometimes as well that the rain can be beautiful. But there are people around you, Taurus, as well, who I feel are having trouble with this. Maybe you have made a decision. Let's return to Center Claire down the back. That I see a television screen on. We cannot promise, right, others their elevation. We can't be there for them to that point. We can only care for ourselves. It is kind of similar. If I were to really, I'm hearing the name Tracy. If we were to see it as, God forbid, but a dire situation where there is possibly pandemonium and everyone is, you have to think for yourself. If we're on an airplane and we have to put the oxygen mask on, they always say it, right? You have to put yours on first. So to really be of assistance to anybody else, you have to be there. You have to be here. So this is where you're prioritizing you. Should others also find that similar case within themselves, to hold their needs as their own and to rely on their own faith at this time, then you would carry on and not much would change. This is about allowing yourself to be who you are to others and to you all at the same time. Forgiving others if they will forget about us. I heard it like that as well. Maybe some of you here, there were so many what ifs. Like, if I make this change, if I move this job, if whatever it has to be, right? And it could be a particular metaphor. It's like, then there's the follow up to what we feel is our sense in our gut that this is the right way for us to move. There are those the processings of the mind. What if they forget me? I hear it like that. If someone could forget you, Taurus, would they have actually been there to begin with? Okay. So the Taurus, I feel like your guys just want to say I love you. Like, they have so much appreciation for you. Not sure what, yeah, I mean, it may mean for everybody here. I'm hearing basil, holy basil specifically. That's an herb. So I want to get a little bit more here for you, but the cards are just ever so powerful. You have a very specific guide here on the other side. It could be a very strong Leo. I see them listening to you, your prayers. They're always around you, is what I'm hearing, and they want to help, but I hear it again, they can't. And they're looking at you. Some of you, this is your mother or someone's mother. I mean, they're looking at your faith as the golden currency that carries more weight to it than you may be able to ever know. So, love and light to you, Taurus. Standout dates: the 1st of December. Return to sender. I'm hearing something about a ticket. The 1st, the 9th, the 10th. I feel like someone here around you is really having regrets, okay? Some of you push yourself out of a certain relationship space. It can be, it's one of those just knee-jerk energies. Like, I just have to get out of here. I don't know why necessarily, but I just have to leave this space, like the Hermit and the Fool. And so, maybe you didn't quite find closure with someone here. Trust that they are feeling that. Trust that they, though, are inclined more than not to observe your decision as one that is a prerequisite for their ascension as well, too. On another plane, they do know that. I feel like whoever this is, like, your guides want to pacify your concern so that you can rest assured that they don't fear you as much as you think they do. They accept you. I hear that, Taurus, for your fear. So maybe there's someone here who I'm almost seeing like twins, like being broken apart, like possibly at birth, is like, don't worry, like they're still here in some sense. I hear it like that. Like, I'm hearing, don't worry, they know that. There is an intuitive like feeling. It's very interesting. So yeah, you may want to watch this reading a few times over, as it may feel, let's clear down the back, throat chakra, abstract, eight of cups. You cannot have this type of growth without challenge, and so that's where I will not sugarcoat it. But Taurus, I just keep hearing, yourself, the Empress. Yeah, I do see an orchestration now, but really quickly, this person, whoever this is, it's almost like some of you here, you will reunite with this person. I see that this person, their higher mind, is involved in actually the decision that you're making from your higher vantage point. It's the ego that makes it feel that this is somehow incongruent. Okay, that it's not the right decision, if that makes sense. Like that. So I see many of you actually do have alignment with this person, but it is a karmic path that is pretty rocky from the ego's vantage point. So thank you so much, Taurus, for tuning in. You also, yes, there's just so much presence around you. You definitely go watch the Pisces reading. There could be overlap there. Some of you here, you have fame coming in your next years. I see something about some kind of film. Okay. 3 weeks in, we see justice. We see the hyper. Yeah. You are absolutely adored, Taurus. I'm going to leave it at that. All right. Major third week as well. 4 days in, I see this weight being lifted, this very heavy sort of, it's like it's like when something is about to, let me make this example. When your dad is holding you, or I'm hearing your dad, okay, it's a very specific message for someone, but yeah, like let's say you're in a pool. I'm seeing a kid with their dad in the pool, and when they want to launch you in the air, for fun. Literally, I'm seeing the fool there. It's like first they go down, and then they throw you out and launch you out. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. So that feels, you're just experiencing time. In one of the most challenging forms. Okay, 3D dimensional energy is the most dense. Please bear with us. I hear like that Spirit says. Last week here as well, we see 3 days in. I see literally a sort of glass case, um, that has contained the manner in which your messages would be most applicable to this dimension, to be released. We'll see you in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in.